The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Game Addicts podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I am your host, Brando. Joining me here today, as always, is this podcast player 2, Mike.
Hello.
How is it going today, good sir?
It is going very well. Thank you for asking.
Oh, man. Of course, we want to welcome you guys all to the show. If this is your first time, if you found the show via the feature week,
Yes.
I want to welcome you. Basically, the premise of this show is very simple. Two guys get together, we talk about video games, whether it's the latest and greatest that's going on right now, or, we talk about stuff that we collect because, we're retro gamers, we're modern gamers. We're kind of a mix and amalgamation of both. And today's show is we're going to focus on 2017, looking at what we've kind of, some of our favorite pickups that we've had throughout the year. If you've been following the show, some of these are going to be familiar to you. And then, of course, we're going to be looking forward a bit to 2018 to see what games are new games are coming out, to see, what's on the horizon. Some of these games are probably going to be delayed.
Punny.
Yeah. We definitely have something to talk about that. But first, as we always touch on this first, newest pickups.
So, do you have any?
I do have some, but they're all digital.
Okay. So, I have one physical.
Go for it.
So, I picked up Axiom Verge, which
For the
is
Switch.
for the
Physical
Switch.
copy.
Yes, physical copy. And this is, as anybody knows, is a Metroidvania game.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot. The only a few things that I don't like, and I believe that they are by design. So there are parts where you're climbing up said tunnel, and you're basically trapped in like a computer world. Essentially, is what I haven't beaten it. I'm about 50% map opened and 40% items collected up to this point. So it's good. It's a really good game. It is definitely a very similar feel to Metroid. Very similar.
Now, this is an independent game.
Yes.
It was released originally digitally.
Yes.
I want to say it's out for Wii U, PS4, Xbox One, and of course now it's out for the Switch. And also I think it's for the Vita as well.
Yes.
But physical copies, you're looking at
Vita
and Switch. And if there were ones for the other one, or like PS, I don't know if there was a limited games version that was released. I don't think so. I want to say, okay, so this game has been on my map for a while because if anybody listens to the old Podcast Beyond or PS I Love You shows, they talked about this game because the Vita version was promised for a long time, and even after the PS4 version came out, that the dude who was basically the head of this game was like, "It's coming. Please wait," and they were getting impatient.
Right.
So they were talking about how long is it going to be. Well, finally we got that one, and we got the Switch version as well, and that was $30 for the physical copy.
I don't know. Maybe the receipt's in here. No,
Nope,
it's not.
it isn't. I'll be darned.
It's
That's
very rare.
yeah, pretty uncommon for either of us.
So my dislikes of this, I think I went off on a tangent.
Okay, yeah, yes.
When you climb up, it becomes like blurry, and it like the environment kind of wonks and glitches and pops.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll have parts where it disappears to black. Some sections will disappear to black and then come back. So that kind of bothers me, but it's by design. It's only in certain areas. I know that one's by design. The other one, so about 50, well, not 50%, I'd say. About 30% through the game, the sound was okay. And then I picked up a certain weapon and fired it. And now I have a constant buzz. Even when I restart the game, restart the system, I have a constant buzz. So I don't know if that's by design or maybe I just didn't notice it until I did the shot and it was very noticeable on the shot. But it's just like a computer buzz. So I assume it's by design. It makes sense for the setting. But outside of that, I give it like an 8.
Really good. So
So the big thing about it is that I got my grappling hook. Go figure. And your weapons are each one you had to select a specific weapon. And there's so far I think I've uncovered 6, I would like to say. And each one is very unique, and they have their own positives and negatives. But it's really neat that they did that instead of powering up your weapon. But they have you have like large icons that increase your weapon damage, and you have small data bits that you pick up. And those small data bits, you combine 6 for a weapon increase in damage and 5 for a health increase. So that's cool. So it really gives you like that Metroidvania feel where you always go through, pick up weapons, you increase your health, But I think it's a fantastic game. If you like old style Metroid games, this is a must pick up. It has a unique story. I really enjoy it. And there's parts in the game where you pick up somebody that has been there before you, and he's kind of translated their language into English. But there's some data that you pull out that you can't understand, and I'm hoping that I get another piece of a translator to uncover it, because it's got a really good story. It's very bleak to begin with, because you're kind of just like thrown in, and he's like, what happened? Like, my factory exploded because of an experiment, and now I'm here. So it's neat. It's very unique.
Awesome. I mean, I've been wanting to pick that up for a while, and it was just to the point of when I bought my games, I just didn't have enough left over for it, and I told you about it, and you went and picked it up like that night.
No, we had talked about it before.
But when I told you that what store had
it.
Yes,
what store had the physical copy, I was on it, and then I was torn between the Vita or this one, and I was like, well, I need to go with the Switch because I don't have many games for the Switch.
Yeah.
So
well, and I mean, it's, to me, that's where a lot of my love is right now anyway, and I'm gonna get there.
Yeah, we can. Well, I can see. Maybe the viewers can't see it, but I can see the love.
Well, okay, we're definitely gonna get there. So, a lot of places, probably Steam. I'm not big and active on Steam anymore, but the PlayStation and the Xbox stores are having holiday sales right now. Yeah. So you can get some really good deals on some games, even some newer games.
Right.
But even older games are like dirt cheap right now. And so last night, I spent like $18.
Okay.
Number one, I had to buy a game for my wife, Caitlin, because she said that she wanted it because apparently her and your wife, Joanna, watched somebody play this game, and they were dying laughing. It's called I Am Bread.
Yes.
So I Am Bread is on sale on the PlayStation Network. By the time you guys are seeing this, it's no longer on sale because I think the sale ends like tomorrow, but which we like January 2nd. However, it was on sale for $1.94, and it's normally $15.
Huh.
So
have you ever seen gameplay for that?
I have.
It is unique.
I have definitely seen it. So I picked that up for $1.94. And then I picked up a game that I've been wanting to get for a while. It is a newer made indie game. And this game was available physically, but when I looked it up to see if I could buy it, physical copies are going for $100. So not going to happen.
No.
Not going to happen for me. So I bit the bullet. It was like normally priced at $15, and it was down to like $8, maybe $7.
Okay.
Maybe it might have been a little bit more than that. No, it was around $8. No, maybe it was $10. Maybe it was $9.99. Whatever, right? Way cheaper than $100. Undertale. Have you ever heard of Undertale?
Huh.
It is a newer made 8-bit RPG. And it's unique as in the battle you have mini games where you have to try and it's hard to explain. It's almost like a puzzler within the RPG.
Huh.
It is very different. I haven't even fired it up yet because I bought it last night. But the last thing I got revolves Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, before this show even started, this won my personal game of the year for 2014 when it came out. In 2014, I thought this is the best game that year.
Yeah, it was a good game for sure.
It won a lot of Game of the Year awards. And, of course, I am a Dragon Age fan. I really enjoyed and loved the first game. Of course, if anybody's ever played this, it's BioWare. It is very reminiscent of the old BioWare gameplay style, the old KOTOR.
Right.
Knights of the Old Republic. They've kind of made their own medieval lore here with this, with their thing. So this is the third Dragon Age game, but I never got the DLC, and the DLC was on sale.
How much?
$5
For all of it?
Yeah, and it's normally priced at $30.
I might pick that up tonight.
So,
I think I got $5 on.
So, like, granted, when was the last time that I played this? A while ago.
Right.
A long while ago. Like, I never went back to it. I haven't revisited it since I beat the game in early 2015.
Right.
But suddenly, I just beat the game I was playing. Could I relaunch this? Yes. Will I right now?
Yeah.
I'm torn. I really am. I really am torn. Because this game is worth it. This game is so worth it. And you know what? The only thing that that I'm hesitant about is because I never completed Dragon Age 2. Now, I have Dragon Age 1 Awakening, which is the expansion for 1, and 2 for the PS3. The problem is that my BioWare EA account for the PlayStation is not linked to my email address. It's linked to Silent Rob's.
Right.
We shared a PS3 for whatever reason. My PSN ID for those games links to his, and then my Xbox 360 account links to my PS4.
Huh.
It is messed up. So when I went to go into this, they have a little thing where you can make some of the choices that you made throughout Dragon Age 1 and 2, whatever, to try and to make it to where it's not just the base Inquisition going in, which is fine. You can start the game that way. It's really only subtle world building.
Right.
Little changes here. Your original hero of Ferelden for the, I can't remember.
Hawk.
Well, we'll see. There's Hawk. He was the hero of Dragon Age 2.
Yeah.
But your personal character that you created in Dragon Age 1 is not in this, but he does send a letter.
Right.
And decisions that you make. Like, you can make the king to be Alistair, I think his name is. You can choose to make him king or not. And because he shows up in this game, and he's either king or not. And it's just subtle changes.
Right.
And then there's changes with Morrigan if you romanced her with your hero. If not, it changes slightly, ever so slightly. But I was attached to that character. He was my dude.
Yeah.
And so when I went to make my Inquisitor, I wanted that. But now I've got those DLCs. I got 3 big story DLCs and a few other slight ones that expand the story of this. And they're all rated pretty good. And I like this game enough to eventually go back to it.
See, that sucks because I have to start all over because I lost my healer.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I got halfway through.
Well, and that's the thing is that it's been so long for me, I might just start over. I'm going to start over anyway.
Right.
Because I want to refresh on the story. I want to rebuild everything. Maybe even make some slightly different choices.
Right.
I was mostly 100% in love with my choices. I loved my romance choice. I loved the way that starting off, I was kind of confused on the story. Oh, cats are fighting.
They're fighting over your bag.
They're fighting over the bag.
And here comes the dog to break it up.
All right, you two.
Yeah, break it up.
Had enough.
He's the police dog of the house.
Come on, guys. He's giving me the puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, will you play with me?
We're recording a show right now.
In my giant ears.
But anyway, yeah, I wanted to bring it up. Now, here's the odd thing. I went to go buy this last night or check out because I think it said that I saved about $40-something, maybe almost $50,
right,
off everything that I bought, which is only 3 things, but that's really good because I don't really like to buy digital, and the only reason why I don't go out and buy the Game of the Year edition of this is because you just get to download codes anyway.
Right.
I want the actual on disc. It's like The Witcher.
Yeah.
Okay, The Witcher, that's on disc. on the Xbox One.
Yes.
Boom. There it is, all done. And that's where I want it, because if in 10 years, 15 years, you can't download those anymore for whatever reason, then you're kind of SOL.
Yep.
So I want everything on disc as much as possible. So there really is no good way to do it other than just to bite the bullet and download them. And if they're on sale for $5, like the Fallout 4 season pass, that's $50.
Yeah.
And that was on sale for $25. Trust me, I was like rocking back and forth because I'm like,
I'm still waiting I need time. I know that I need time.
Mm-hmm. Because you got it now, but you just...
Yes. Once that gate opens, there's no turning back. I've got to do it all.
All right. So we went from pickups, and I guess we'll go straight into... what I want to do now is take a look back for the last year and look at some of our favorite pickups throughout the year. And some of them might be here for that also match up over. But my most favorite pickup of the year is the Switch.
Yes.
I now have caught myself bringing this places even where I don't play it, just because I might play it.
Just because.
Went to go see Star Wars with Nate, and Blaine and Tyler, and we were sitting there. We had 15 minutes left before the show. I pull out the Switch, and then they're all talking. They're all like conversing about the movie, and I just want to play my Switch. So I'm sitting there, and I'm playing LA Noire in the theater. And Nate's like, "Look at this dude," And Tyler started giving me shit, saying, "Oh yeah, sure, don't take part of the conversation, Brandon. Don't get hyped up." But I absolutely love the Switch now. Just to update, I guess, because I've covered all of these in some form, but not all of them with you.
Right.
When I got the Switch, I got the Mario download. I don't have a physical copy of it yet. But then I also got Skyrim.
Yeah.
For it as well. Really good port of it. Really good port of Skyrim. It is competent, and it comes with all the expansion and DLC.
It's a legendary edition.
So like, if you're looking at, someone was like, well, I kind of want to get it for PS4. PS4 and Xbox One users of this do get the mods.
Right.
And the Xbox One version is the better one to get for the mods.
Right.
If you don't have an Xbox One, why would you get this for the Switch? Portability.
So my thing with that is the best way to get that is PC.
Yeah, yes.
Because if for mods.
You and your PC.
Well, no.
Master race.
No. Hey. The reason why is that the modding community for PC is so vast that they've literally built another Skyrim inside of Skyrim that's an add-on. So if you are like this household, well, preferably my wife, who is absolutely obsessed with this game and has done every quest in the game multiple times. For me, when we pull up the new computer and I get that, I told her, I was like, we're downloading on yours because you're not fucking taking all the time on mine. Skyrim will never hit my PC because you will never let it go.
Great version of the game to get, though, if you're looking for it to take it on the go, because it's Skyrim.
Yes.
And it's fully playable. And if you're familiar with the nuances of Bethesda games, and by the fact, what I mean by that is that they don't always run perfect. They're always going to have, some sort of like issue with it. Like, it's such a big world to load into every time. So you're going to have glitches and whatnot. If you're familiar with that and don't care, perfect.
Dragons falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
Or actually, I would say dragons coming up from the earth.
I was making my way to not like the place after Whiterun, the first big place you go to. I can't remember the name of it.
Riverrun?
Wherever. But I'm running along, and apparently these guys were fighting a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always happens as long as you stay on the road.
Well, guess what? They killed the giant, and I didn't even know they were fighting a giant.
Yeah.
Because they just said, this woman's like, well, thanks for just standing there not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't have an option to say, wait, what?
If you have a bow, you can run over and throw a shot at the bow. And she's like, "Oh, you can handle yourself well. You should think about joining the companions."
Well, yeah. Because she was like, she still said that.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys. I'm still kind of recuperating from a cold, but the game kind of glitched out because I walked up and I'm just like exploring around, looking around, and then she starts berating me for not doing anything. She goes, "You seemed very capable of handling yourself, and yet you didn't lend us a hand." I'm like, and I didn't have an option to say, "What?"
That's not a glitch.
Well,
that always happens.
Well, the thing is that I didn't have an option to say what, so my options were, I didn't feel like it, or you look like you could handle yourself, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
That's the only two options you get.
But it still made me laugh because I'm just like, I'm just got to town. I'm already getting yelled at. Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So Xenoblade 2, haven't even put this in yet. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm looking forward to playing this. Apparently, this is a long game, long game. A fellow coworker that we both know got this. Matt got this. And he's enjoying the crap out of it. He got like 15 hours in and just got some like new stuff that changed combat. So like he still had stuff that he hadn't even unlocked for combat yet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yes.
Had to get it. I was pretty much told from the get-go I had to get this, and we did play a little bit of it, and it's fun.
It is fun.
Really fun, and I even played that little fish or capture the people and put them in the cell.
Yes, isn't that fun?
That was a lot of fun. But of course, then we played some of the new tracks, some of the new races. That was a lot of fun too. And then of course, they put the original newer version of the SNES battle track, and
yes,
that made me happy. I Am Setsuna. Now, this is the Japanese version. Now, what's cool about this is that I got this on the Amazons, and of course, I talked about this a few weeks ago. But look, there's even stuff that came in there for once.
Look at that.
There's a download code, but I don't know what it's for.
Yeah, because you can't read it. Let me see.
Tyler said we can get an app, and we can put it on there.
We should be able to use take a picture with Google Translator, can't you?
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, just to show you this, Mike. On the Amazon version that I got, it has the original Japanese.
Oh, that's cool.
And they printed an English version one as well. So now this digitally costs you $40, and for the physical copy, it cost me $54.
I mean, that's worth it for a physical.
Yes, it was, and considering that, like, what it is, guys, if you haven't heard yet, if you put the Japanese version of this game into an English set console, it'll just load it up in English. So, pretty cool. Breath of the Wild. What else you got to say? I mean, what else?
I might as well just set this one aside myself.
Well, I mean, like, we're going to talk about it for
right.
further things. But, I mean, what else you have to say? And then I got this along with I Am Setsuna. This is The Police. And this is a physical copy of the game. Of course, this is released on PS4 and stuff like that too. And you run a police, station, and you're the dude that you're trying to get him to retirement. He's got to raise $500,000 for his retirement, and you got to assign officers to cases and whatnot, and do all that stuff. It's much more of a long-term thinking game. It's not an action game.
Right.
It's it's definitely a thinking game. Now, my favorite thing, as we talked about this a few episodes ago, this is also the back of it also has the language of it in French, and of course, my favorite translation was for this is rated M, and one of the things here is for intense violence, and in French that is violence intense. So, gotta be careful with that.
Yes.
But my last physical thing that I brought for my favorite pickup is the big collector's edition for Persona 5.
Yeah.
And I just brought the tin thing here. I'm not bringing the whole box. I'm not unpacking that thing again. But I'm not a huge big collector tin guy. But I want to say this came with like a little sleeve that you can put over it. That I haven't left it on there yet because I was playing it, so I kind of had the case out.
Right.
But that way it would look the same. But there's that, and then I picked up Super Metroid this year. I picked up that physical copy of Night Trap from Limited Run. I picked up Doom on Super Nintendo to go along with my box and manual that I had for that. Picked up Persona 2 this year, or it was like around tax time maybe, because that was.
Didn't I show you that one?
Yes, that was the one that you had them set aside for me
Yep.
at Disc Replay. So I picked up that on PS1. I picked up Persona 3 Portable, because I also picked up Persona 3 on PS2, but then
Right.
I just recently picked up the PSP version. So a lot of cool games that I picked up. Oh, and we'll go into yours now, because some of your favorite pickups now. Some of your favorite pickups are different from, because we're also going to be going through some of the games that we beat this year.
Right.
And my stack is much smaller than yours. But you got the Fallout 4, as we said earlier, the Game of the Year Collector's Edition. You actually got the Pip-Boy.
Yes. So
And-
that's the game that I was told that I should get, and I waited. I'm glad I waited. It's definitely worth. I mean, I spent $20 on the game the first time,
Mm-hmm.
loved it, and then spent $100 on the Game of the Year.
Well, okay, so like you were complaining about a Game of the Year edition for that for
Yes,
a while.
long time.
You were harping about that on every episode for a good while. That was
Yes.
your running joke, and it finally got announced. And then we finally got it, and we unboxed it, and there were nothing but download codes inside.
Yes.
So that was a big downer, because just like I said before, I'm a big proponent of put it on the disc.
Right.
You know,
Right.
let's just load it up there on the disc, because nothing. Like I know that Fallout 4 is a big game, but
Yeah.
it's not that big a game, and I
Right.
know you can fit them on there. They put the game that they already released once, put that on a disc and just put download codes in there.
Right.
And to me, that's not cool. As a physical collector, I want I go out of my way to try and find, just like the Far Cry thing, where the Blood Dragon on the PS3 version, that's a download, but on the Xbox 360 version, it's a disc.
Right.
I went out of my way, like, all right, I guess I'm going to get this on the 360. And typically the Xbox side of that does more of that. But then again, you also have it where, and this is something that I liked at the time, and then I realized it was wrong. The Ezio collection.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I got the Ezio collection, not the remaster that's on PS4 and Xbox One. The original one that came out on the PS3 360. On the PS3, it is one disc.
Right.
And it installs two of the games. And I want to say it is Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood that it installs on the disc, or on the hard drive. And then it runs Revelations off the disc. And that's just because it's such a, putting those three games on there makes it a pretty big file,
Right.
So they install those, make them easier. Well, the problem is some of the PS3 discs are faulty.
Yeah, and you got one.
And I got one of the faulty ones. So then Brotherhood would never fully install. It would get to 95% and it would just fault out.
So I'm wondering, if you were to download Brotherhood on the regular disc from the original game, would it work that way? Like just a standalone disc, do it that way, and see if it would run off of the trilogy disc.
I don't know. Because what I ended up doing was so Assassin's Creed 2 installed correctly. Nothing wrong with
Right.
it. And then the Brotherhood one, it wouldn't install at all. And so that year I ended up getting a PlayStation Network card for Christmas. So they were having a sale around the holidays, just like they are,
Yep.
you are currently as we record this. And I went on, and for $30, I think it was around $30 because I want to say that the card was for like 20, maybe it was a $20 card, so I spent $10,
Right.
maybe something like that. Maybe the card was a $25 gift card, and I only spent $5. It wasn't that much. I know out of my pocket was less than $10.
Okay.
I bought the Ultimate Game of the Year Brotherhood version that comes with all the DLC.
Right.
So that one installed on my hard drive. So now that is on there, just like it would be installed on there, quote, if that disc was not faulty. But I had to go out and spend extra money to get that, even though it personally didn't cost me anything. I could have used that network card for other things.
Right.
Instead of buying the game that I should have already had. However, on the 360 version, what does it do? It gives you one disc for each. It gives you Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, all 3 discs.
So back to Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
So yeah, I was really happy to pick this up. I really like just having it as a piece. It's so unique. I really enjoy it.
Were you able to get it to mod for your phone to get it to
Yeah,
fit in there?
I could cut the foam. I just haven't yet. I could get it with the foam on there, but it just needs some
When you
little-
play the game, are you going to use it?
Yes. At least for a little while.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's going to become uncomfortable because, well, it's not small.
Well, your arm is going to start getting all sweaty.
Yeah. But then, one of my other favorite pickups was my Guardian amiibo that I flipped out. And
Oh, yeah.
carried around like a baby bird.
You were like...
You're mine.
You were like chewing up the food for it.
Yeah.
And like spitting it back out into
And
that.
then they showed me that he had the rest of them, and I was like, well, shit.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get the Guardian? Not the Guardian one, but the. Yeah, you got.
I have all of the ones for Breath.
Okay, so like because the Champions one, I was thinking.
I have
like,
all the champions.
Blah, I couldn't think of the right word.
We were at Walmart, or not Walmart, Meijer, and
yeah, I remember the story.
we got shoes, and I kind of looked at her, and I was like, well, she's like, is there anything else you want to look at? And I was like, well, yeah, I always check the amiibos. No matter where I go, if they sell amiibos, I check. And I went in there and looked, and they had all 4 of them. And I just kind of looked at her with the puppy dog eyes, like, yeah.
See, like my Walmart down there where I live used to be really cool by having some cool amiibos that you didn't see everywhere else.
Right.
And now, for the past 6 months, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. It's been the same 3-4 amiibos. They don't restock them because I don't think they sell very well down there.
Right.
Um,
So then,
Breath
Breath.
of the Wild. And then, okay, so, yes, let's go through those, and then we'll switch to talking about games that we beat, because some of the games that I beat are also some of my pickups, too.
So one of the games I've been looking for a while, and we covered this on one of the later episodes, Super Monkey Ball. So me and my wife played this for a couple hours right when we got it.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, this is just something from my my youth that I remember playing a lot of with friends, and I had to have it. So it's an interesting pickup. It's a party game, but it's fun.
Dude, Super Monkey Ball is awesome because I remember that day, and I was like, I've been looking for that because my wife wants it.
Right.
And then you were like, oh, I really want this. And I was sort of like, kind of like, oh, yeah, I kind of do, but I'll let you have it. And you're like, are you sure? Because I'll let you have it. And I'm like, let's walk around for a bit.
Right. So the other one is I got this early in the year. I'm really excited. This was my GameCube pickup.
Mm-hmm.
When I got the GameCube, the 2 Wave Birds, only 1 dongle, and I got a lot of really cool games. Mario Kart Double Dash was one of them. And I was so happy to have it because I have my original case, which is right here. So I just took the game out, put the game in my original case because reasons. It's my original. That's what matters.
And that's cool because when I got for the GameCube, when I picked up Wind Waker,
Yeah.
I had a Wind Waker case.
Yeah.
My buddy Tony, he gave me, he goes, I don't know if you need this, but here's this. And I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, man, that's cool. Thank you. And it was actually the wrong game in there. I told him, I'm like, it's actually Resident Evil Disc 2. He goes, oh, then I don't know where anything else is. Sorry. I guess you had a cool case. I'm like, and that was years ago, like more than 10 years ago. And then all those years later is like I had already picked up Wind Waker on the Wii U, the remaster.
Yeah.
But I happened to come across like a version of it on like just the disc for really 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 cheap. To the point where we're like, I can afford that. I'm just gonna pick that up and put it in my case. So
for a while until Mario Kart 8 came out, this was the best Mario Kart, period.
And let me just preface this by saying that I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is actually the superior version.
Yes.
Because I think that it has it includes a real battle mode. It has different cool game modes with that. It has the 2 powers that you can stock.
Yeah.
That's cool.
From Double Dash.
And then you have all the different, a bunch of tracks, dude.
And some new game modes for multiplayer.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Some of those are a lot of fun. So moving on to the next one here. Well, these are kind of pickups and
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to
games.
talk about next? We're going to be talking about games that we
You're going
beat.
to talk about dog meat.
Yeah.
Licking on
Oh,
you.
you're breathing into my ear. Hey, buddy. Here. How you doing?
Yeah, I love you. Hey, where's all my kisses?
We're.
Hey, come here.
You gonna get him some kisses?
Come here.
Go get him some kisses. I got a show to host.
All right. So, let's go with ones. Do we have any that are together outside of Zelda?
Well, I never beat Zelda. You did.
Okay.
I got distracted. But in January, I beat Persona 4 Golden.
Right.
On the Vita. I was trying to get it done before the end of the year. Over our Christmas holiday. I didn't get it done. I got close. I got really close. On my memories, I got the first ending already. Over the holiday, but I didn't get the good ending.
Right.
I got a kind of a bad ending because I can't remember how many endings there are to this. I think there's like 4 or 5, and then there's one that is just for the Vita version. But this vastly and very quickly became one of my favorite RPGs of all time. An amazing ride. Because it's one of those games that, starting off, I didn't think it was going to be.
Right.
Okay, cool. Kind of a thing here. Let me try this out. And I got a little hooked, set it aside. And then I pick it back up again. All right, let's try and play this. Because I actually want. And then the next thing I know, I'm hooked again. And it's the characters. It's this game, by doing the whole very South Park.
Yeah.
So, great game. Especially, I don't know if they still are including it, but if you buy it on the PS4 or Xbox One, which is, I guess, the only place where you can buy it, you get the free version, the PS4 or Xbox One version of Stick of Truth.
Right.
So,
let's go with this one. Super Mario Odyssey.
I haven't beat the game yet, but I am on the food
Yes.
kingdom.
So this
How close is that to the end? Because I'm already pretty, like, I've gone through a lot of kingdoms already.
I don't know how close it is. It's not.
I've got 100 so maybe I'm like halfway. Because you need like 300 moons to beat the game.
No.
You need more than that or less than that?
Less than that.
All right.
No, I think there's a total of like.
There's 999 moons
Yeah.
altogether, but that's like completionist.
Right. But I think I only had 200.
All right, and I have like
Some-
160.
somewhere
so
right in
I'm,
there.
I'm getting close to being.
Well,
being able to
also
beat
you
the
can get
story.
majority of the moons from the beginning all the way to the end.
There's also, if you get all 900 something moons, you get like a secret boss fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is a fantastic game.
Yes.
We have covered this.
Oh my gosh, I love the game.
It is.
Wyatt asked me to play it.
This game is just great all around.
You know what he says? I watch Mario.
I watch Mario.
Daddy play Mario.
I watch Mario.
And I don't know if you saw this, but okay, so last week our buddy Nate came down,
Yes.
and he ended up getting into the game room with us, and he got the GameCube controller, which didn't have any batteries in it. He can't really do anything with it, and plus nothing was on.
Right.
But he said, I play Mario. And I had the Switch back there. So I went and I took the Switch and I had Nate hold the
Right. I saw
the
the
screen.
Yeah.
And I sat behind Wyatt. Wyatt was sitting in my game chair, and I sat behind him in the computer chair. I had both Joy-Cons, and he thought he was playing the game. And
That's pretty cool.
then Nate would like move the screen. I'm like, I can't see anymore.
Right.
But I absolutely love Mario Odyssey, and I love the fact that Wyatt loves watching me play Mario Odyssey.
It is a fantastic game.
I honestly think it's probably the best Mario game since Mario 64. And I know you disagree because you like Sunshine, but
Yes.
but I feel like it's like the first 3D Mario game since 64 that could ever imagine, like, ever possibly like reach the possible size and scope of what you would think would come next. That's
That's
Yeah.
yours. I still like Sunshine.
my last game that I beat this year, which I beat last night, this morning. Technically this year, but L.A. Noire. I picked it up for the Switch, and I just completed it. This is the remastered version. Of course, you can also pick this up for $10 cheaper on the PS4 and Xbox One. And they are also 4K compatible with their respective systems.
Right.
Xbox One X version of the game is the superior 4K experience.
Yeah.
This is not 4K. This one runs just a little bit better than the PS3 base version. The graphics did get a slight upgrade. Not much. The game runs fine. The only thing that I noticed is that the draw distance is far inferior to the PS4 or Xbox One versions. However, when you're playing in handheld mode, you don't really notice.
Right.
When you're playing on the TV, it's far noticeable, especially when there's a lot of cars around you and you're going really fast through traffic, and it takes longer for like the distance stuff to load in.
Right.
And I also I had a few times where like it was loading in a cutscene, and all of a sudden textures just popped in, like, because it like was loading too fast for the game. I had to catch up with itself.
Right.
Those are very few and far between. This does include all of the DLC cases. Everything is in here, which is cool because there were a couple cases that I never got around to. I bought the DLC for the PS3 version, but I never got around to completing them all. I got the game takes you through beat, so you're beat cop.
Right.
And then it takes you to traffic detective, then homicide detective, then advice detective, and then you go to arson.
Right.
And there are a couple DLC cases. There are no DLC cases for homicide because it already has the most cases anyway. So like I never got to play the vice or the arson DLC.
Right.
And that was pretty cool. Playing through the game again, My first thoughts when I beat the game back in 2011 were I didn't like the ending. Now I like it a little bit more because I think the first time around I miss the way they tell the story in this game. The overall story is a little wonky because the game focuses on your cases, but then you get like in between the cases you get flashbacks to when your character was in World War II, and some of the other characters that were in his unit, and then you'll find newspapers when you're going through the cases, and if you pick up a newspaper, it'll take you to a cutscene that's going on over here that is filling in the details with these other characters.
Right.
And it by the end of the game, it all spirals into one story. But it is sort of like bits and pieces. And if you miss any of the newspapers, you miss bits and pieces of that.
Right.
And this time around, I got all the newspapers. And the overall story was really good. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or wasn't understanding it. Because your dude, the guy that you play as, Cole Phelps, hotshot young detective coming in. And he's a great case man. Figure stuff out. The police are corrupt.
Yeah.
So somebody is going to be taking down the Vice group, and your dude just got promoted to Vice. And your partner sells you out. Because your dude made a mistake.
Huh.
And then he gets shat on. And he gets a divorce from his wife over it.
Wow.
Because, well, he cheated on her. And that gets published in the newspapers. And he gets disgraced. Meanwhile, the thing that was going to be bringing down a lot of top people within the police chief, the mayor, all this stuff, it's swept under the rug a little bit. But it's cool because the fight never quits. Like, even though he gets demoted,
yeah,
the next case that he's working on still involves these people, and he's digging deeper, and he's being warned. You stop right now. You don't know what you're getting into.
Right.
But he doesn't. And one dude that cannot stand this dude. He was in his unit. He was in his unit over in World War II, over in Okinawa. He is now an insurance investigator, and he gets him involved in the case. And all of a sudden, near the end of the game, you switch and you start playing as him a little bit.
Huh.
And then he starts. He cannot stand this dude, but he's an upstanding dude.
Right.
And he's like, "You got something, and this ain't right." And what's the right word here? Assistant DA. He's running for DA, and he's going to bring down everybody.
Right.
Who is corrupt. And the investigator, he's the dude that he's like you're going to work for me now, and we're going to work together on this. Well, near the end of the game, when you guys are chasing down and you're settling all this corruption, the chief of police is talking to the assistant DA. And he's like, "Oh, so you're the new hotshot around here, huh? You gonna bring everybody down?" He goes, "That's the way it seems." He goes, "Maybe we can work something out."
Huh.
So at the end of the game, the main character dies. But he dies a hero.
Right.
Due to uncovering one of the biggest corruption scandals. And one of the dudes that they blame it on, he dies. And the other dude, they screw him over. The dude that is speaking during the funeral is the partner that sold you out in Vice.
Wow.
And then the chief comes up to talk. They cut a deal.
Huh.
So even though like yes, he cheated on his wife and he kind of got shit on for it. And then in the end he died. They're now reversing that and they're making him look good for their sake.
Right.
And they're saying, "Oh, he was wrongfully accused of this and disgracing the LAPD." And at the end of the day, they're still corrupt.
Right.
I was like, oh, like personally, I felt so deflated by that, but I'm like, that is such a thing that would happen.
Yeah.
God, because they're looking out for their own necks.
Right.
Great game. I really enjoyed playing through it again. And then then for the Switch, it was awesome because I I easily could have got this for PS4. I probably would have been less inclined to get it on the PS4.
Right.
Because I already owned the game. But getting it for Switch, being able to take it with me, play it in the theater before go seeing Star Wars, switching it out if need to go and hide in the game room for a little bit while I'm grilling out and let Wyatt watch what he wants to watch.
Right.
You know, it was a really cool experience, and I was racing to get this done so I could move on to other stuff because now I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I go and play the DLC included Inquisition? Do I finally go and finish Breath of the Wild?
I say finish Breath.
I'm leaning that way because all I want to do right now is play Switch.
I would.
And I got all these Switch games, so
might as well keep trucking.
Yeah. Anyway, you got 2 more.
I got 2 more. Let's do a Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. I hunted this game for a while.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I feel like it was too short. There are some expansions that I do not own.
How long was the game?
Oh, it didn't take me very long to beat it. It didn't take me very long to max out level. And then you max out your sword arts.
Now, in the expansion, does it increase your level cap?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
So, yeah, I haven't purchased that, but it's really good. It's really good. You have a 4-player online co-op where you go through the mission with 4 different people.
That's neat.
That's fun.
Now, is there a Vita version as well?
Yes.
And if you're playing on Vita, can you play with somebody on PS4? That's cool.
Well, I don't know about that, to be honest. It doesn't really...
Because it's the same game.
It does. Interconnectivity, PS4, PS Vita.
That is awesome. Because if I ever got that on Vita, we could play together with being on 2 different systems.
Right.
That'd be cool. And see, the Vita has a built-in chat system and all that kind of stuff. So.
And then one of my favorite games of this year.
Yeah.
Metroid, Samus Returns. A re-envisioning of
Metroid
2. And I have to say, it is absolutely fantastic.
That was the best surprise for you.
Yes.
Because they just sort of announced it. They said, by the way, in like a month or 2, this game's coming out. And you're like...
Yep. Because this is the first Metroid game I have ever played when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first one. So a reimagining of it, I was like, oh, I got to see what they do.
Oh, yeah.
And they did well. They did very well. Now, I haven't picked everything up in it because usually in Metroid games, I have to have 100%. Like, there's no other option for me. There's only one that I haven't, and I'm wearing the shirt. Super Metroid, I do not have 100%. I have like 92. I'll get it. I got to be in the mood for it, though. And this is one that I don't look at stuff online. I want to find it myself.
Right.
So, I don't really know what to say about this. I've already kind of covered it before. But it is a classic game that adds a new feel. So it adds
Well, they also they've also expanded some of the levels. So they're not just the same levels. They've made them bigger and they've made new stuff.
And it's you get 4 new abilities right out the gate, and they added the melee counter, which is very useful in some of the bosses. That's the only way you can beat them, especially the final boss. And free aim. What I specifically like about this is your encounter with the Metroid. Your Metroid, I should say, is fantastic. It is, because in the other one, it's like, it pops up and you want to shoot it, and then it's like, oh, you're my mom, and then that's it. And then you escape the planet. This one, you escape the planet, but he follows you around. He has abilities, and you can continue to play in that world with him and his specific abilities. So it's very unique, and then at the end, it also shows, hey, look, we're going to do fusion. Same planet. But it is a good game.
I've been hearing rumors. Now, this is rumor. This is probably the biggest grain of salt anything. Because I don't think it's happening. I think this is just fan conjecture. Because we got Metroid Prime 4 coming out.
Yes.
Nintendo's looking to branch out.
Yes.
Away from games. Now, that's not saying that they're going to stop making games. They're looking at doing other things with their IP. They made their own Nintendo Land, their own like theme park with Universal, and they're looking at teaming up with Universal to make a Super Mario animated film.
Right.
About the same company that does the Minions and Despicable Me.
Right.
Will be making a Super Mario animated film, which probably it's gonna look like Super Mario, sound like Super Mario. It's gonna be Mario.
And coming from that specific studio,
they've already proven themselves. They
do fantastic work.
Yes, exactly. The idea of doing either movies or series with their other IP, how would you react to a Metroid movie?
It depends, because in a certain sense, you're doing a live action movie. There's not a whole lot of human interaction in this.
You would have to change that bit with it a little bit.
Like The Other M
would
be sufficient, which is the story after Metroid, Super Metroid.
But like, who would you have play Samus? Because it's difficult.
I might have to get back to you on that.
Because you could.
Because it has to be a badass blonde.
Yeah, you can go a couple different ways with it. You can go like someone who's like just overly attractive. You know, you can go that route. Who's still a badass. So like maybe like a Charlize Theron or.
I don't want her to be overly, because she's not like the most gorgeous thing in the world. She's.
But then the meme that I saw, it's like they sort of like did like a Photoshop where they put Gwendolyn Christie in there. Of course, that is Captain Phasma, Star Wars. Also,
Brienne
of Tarth, built like a rock. You know.
Yeah, that's not her.
Not necessarily, but I mean, I think she would look good in the role.
She would do a good job, but I don't think
it wouldn't.
The way that Nintendo has I don't want to say idolized, but envisioned her and everything she has. She's just the typical American blonde girl, big boobs, super small figure.
You would definitely re-envision her
5'6",
which wouldn't necessarily be bad if they re-envisioned her that way, because I like it when you branch out and you like say, well, like for example, what they did with Lara Croft when they rebooted it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it's like, and this is funny because I've heard this both ways. How like the older rendition was like this overly sexualized character,
right? And
how you're like, man, you know, it's like it's negative to have an overly sexualized character like that. Why are you doing that? Why not make her more normal? So they made her more normal, typical person, less showing of the cleavage,
right?
And they're like, well, okay, so now you're defeminizing her. It's like,
pick one, damn it.
Well, you know, like I really like the representation of Laura in the reboots.
You know who I'd like, but I don't know she could fully fulfill the role? Jessica Alba.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. I don't know how much she's acting anymore.
I haven't seen her act in a long time.
Quick tangent, because the new Tomb Raider movie comes out next year. I'm not really excited for it.
Yeah, I don't really care too much.
Because here's the thing. It looks like they're just taking a lot from the reboot and putting it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've already kind of seen it and done it twice.
Right.
But I think that for the show, maybe we should go see it.
Yeah, I think we should.
Because I think it is. I think Tomb Raider is they've already announced, very like, without any ceremony, we're making a third Tomb Raider in this franchise.
Right.
Basically, they said there's going to be a short time window from where we show you the game and when you leave to play it.
Right.
They're kind of doing the Fallout 4 thing. It's like we're going to announce it and then you're going to be able to play it in 3 months.
Yep.
Which I'm happy for. And I'm really looking forward to it because I really enjoyed both the Director Reboot and Rise. But like for the film, it's like it looks the part,
right?
But it almost looks like they've just like taken like the reboot and said, "All right, make it a movie."
Yeah, pretty much.
And to me, it's funny because like we always bitch and we always say, "Well, if it was just closer to the game, maybe it'd be better." But here I am on that opposite side. I go, "Man, it looks too close. It looks like just like a translation." Sometimes that can work. And I guarantee you it probably won't be an exact copy because it can't be. But the scenes that they chose to put in the trailer, I'm like, well, that's from the game.
Like her sliding down the hill.
With the pick and
yeah.
then her jumping on the boat as it's sinking. Like, man, that is from the game. It's
well, they had one where she was falling through the rock or the waterfall where she was slamming on the rocks.
Yes.
I mean, that happens in it. It's just, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be cool to see it that way, and maybe they'll change a few of the things, but I'm okay with it.
All right, so we got a few more things here.
Yes.
Got a couple news items, and then we're going to be looking at on IGN has 41 big games coming out next year, and we're going to run through them really quick and give them a quick rating of how excited we are for it. Because I mean, we've already spent enough time here talking about last year.
Yes.
Cuphead, the game that came out for Xbox One and the almost at 360 and PC, sold. It breaks 2 million copies sold.
That's good.
That's very good, and it probably means that we're going to be seeing a sequel to that down the line. So, Nintendo and why DLC is such a good fit for the Switch. This article right here was like really, and there we go. Dang it, my app was all freezing up on me. Nintendo has been leaning heavily into DLC for Switch games since launch. Nintendo has announced a season pass and an expansion pass for the season pass for Breath of the Wild and expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and a host of expansion DLC for Splatoon 2. Speaking to IGN, Shinya Takahashi.
Let me see how the Takahashi spelled. I'll tell you if it's right or wrong. Since I work with the Takahashi. Yep. Yeah.
Close enough.
I'm trying to think of how to pronounce his first name. Shinya.
It's as close as I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
He is Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development Division General Manager. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Explain why DLC has been such a good fit for the Switch, and which is embracing the digital future. I think that titles you download when you purchase have a very good compatibility with the idea of additional content. I believe the Nintendo Switch, compared to most of our recent hardware, makes some of the best use of the ability to download titles in their entirety, since it's a console you can carry as a portable. We certainly like to think about which software titles would have a great value for additional content. Beyond DLC, Takahashi also sees the possibility for expanding the Switch itself, seeing as so many fan-made customization options for Joy-Cons. He says Nintendo could also consider new Joy-Con designs, or perhaps even new kinds of attachments in the future.
Huh.
One of the great strengths of the Nintendo Switch is that though you can play it as a console, you can also separate these two controllers from the hardware. That gives us a lot of possibilities that we could consider for future in terms of what you could attach. I think that would be a really good time for us to think about some very different colors or designs applied to the Joy-Cons. That might be interesting.
Or maybe you can add to where it maybe slides in and adds a little bit more. So you take Joy-Cons off, you slide something over that's like a Joy-Con, and it gives us a better stand.
Or you can make it more akin to a GameCube layout for people who like playing Smash Brothers. Or
right.
You can make it, you can do different color schemes, classic console color schemes, anything you really want with that. Still, even if Nintendo doesn't make the design you've been waiting for, Takahashi is glad to see fans embracing customization for the Switch. There's a lot of joy to be had from the hand-making something yourself, or having all those customizable possibilities, and we absolutely embrace that. We love to see that. So basically, this is just an article stating that they're leaning, just like all the others, more into the digital realm, which makes me think we're going to see an update to the Switch with more internal memory.
Yes, I assume so.
But there is another article here that I wanted to talk about. So apparently, Nintendo is delaying delivery of 64 gigabyte Switch game cards.
What is that?
Okay, so Nintendo reportedly won't offer the 64 gigabyte game cards for Switch until 2019. Wall Street Journal says Nintendo originally planned to deliver bigger Switch game cards to developers in the second half of 2018. But there has been apparently a delay due to technical issues. The largest Nintendo Switch card currently is 32 gigabytes. And that is considerably smaller compared to Blu-ray, which can hold up to 50 gigabytes that are on PS4 and Xbox One.
Right.
Now there have already been some data storage issues with the Switch, like NBA 2K requires the card, and LA Noire does as well, like 13 gigabytes of download go on to the system for LA Noire. And so, like, the Wall Street Journal adds that there are some U.S.-based publishers may hold off on bringing certain games to Nintendo Switch because of this delay. However, no specific companies or games were noted.
Huh.
So, I mean, we're getting bigger game cards, and there will be bigger. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's got to be something with the compatibility. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Is that, I think it will be happening, and it will be coming. And that'll be awesome because then that is less download that you need to do. And then, of course, it will be easier. Of course, by that time, by 2019, dude, I just watched this video yesterday, and they were talking about the rumored named Xbox 2.
Huh.
And the next gen Xbox. Now, this video that I saw, we're predicting that we're not going to be seeing that probably until late 2019 to early 2020 at this point, due to the fact that they just released the One X.
Right.
They want to give that a couple years, let people want to upgrade to that if possible, but ultimately they're already looking at the next jump, from the get-go, boots to ground. And this video is saying that something that they need to try and look at and get and embrace for talking to try and help close the gap between them and Sony and Nintendo. Because Nintendo's killing it right now with the Switch.
Yeah.
Sony's been killing it since the beginning of the PS4. So Xbox is like in defense mode. And this was team up, and this is hard for me to imagine because Xbox is so like Xbox Marketplace, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But if you could share the marketplace with the Steam marketplace and have the Steam library be compatible with your Xbox to be able to go on your TV. So therefore your Xbox is basically a Steam box because they tried that.
Right.
If you can link those.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, especially for PC gamers that have hundreds of Steam games.
Yes.
You have all of those, plus all of your new Xbox 2 games, all of your Xbox One games reverse compatibility, all of your 360 games reverse compatibility, all of your original Xbox games reverse compatible. That's a lot.
Pretty much.
Because you know that since they're doing this thing with the Xbox One right now, that when they go to the next one, they're going to want to bring those guys that are already like, we've been doing this for you guys. Let's bring you guys forward,
right.
and your entire catalog forward.
Right.
They definitely want to try and do that. So when we're talking about new games, we're going to very quickly here go over 41 games, which is a lot.
It is.
But we're not going to spend a lot of time on a lot of these, I guarantee you. I got to unplug my phone now. It's charged. So, A Way Out. That's a game that is the 2-player, 2 guys in prison, got to get out of prison.
Okay.
That game's coming out, supposed to be coming out next year. Ace Combat 7.
Yes.
Anthem.
Yes.
The BioWare game.
Yeah.
That we were talking about. The Bard's Tale 4.
Really?
Yeah. A new Bard's Tale game coming out next year, apparently. Biomutant. Is that one game?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That is the new Castlevania, 2.5D visuals. It's pretty much what Axiom Verge did for the Metroidvania.
Well, it's kind of like Mighty Number 9.
Or Mighty Number 9, or even like the Metroid, how Metroid re-envisioned that game.
Right.
I mean, this isn't a remake of Castlevania, but it's like the spiritual successor.
Right.
Code Vein. I have never heard of it,
yeah.
but apparently it's being made by the same guys that make Dark Souls.
Right.
Or maybe it's being released by the same publisher at least. Crackdown 3 for Xbox. The Crew 2. Darksiders 3. Days Gone. That's that PlayStation zombie game. Detroit Becoming Human, which is that one Beyond Two Souls. Heavy Rain. Oh god, I cannot wait to play that game. That trailer that they showed for the first mission.
With the
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Dragon Ball Fighters. This is the new 2D fighting game from Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Far Cry 5. That's coming out in March.
Right.
God of War.
Yes.
That looks really good. Hunt Showdown. I don't know what this is.
I don't know anything about it.
It pits 5 teams of 2 players against one another hunting bounties on hellspawn monsters in 19th century Louisiana swampland.
Interesting. But
Jurassic World Evolution. Basically, the game where you become John Hammond from Jurassic Park and oversee the creation and operations of your very own dinosaur theme park. So, like, they had a game like that on the Xbox and PS2 called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. It's a pretty expensive game. Our disc replay has the PS2 version. It's like almost $50. The Xbox version is like even more. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Though it may look like similar to games like The Witcher or Skyrim, Kingdom Come is a slower, more realistic take on action RPG. 15th century medieval life. Might be something to look into, but I've never even heard of it. Kingdom Hearts 3, supposed to come out next year. We'll see about that, Square.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. Kirby Star Allies, and that is is this the one that's coming to the Switch?
I think it's the one that where you can have up to 4 players.
Yep.
And you can, if you don't have 4 players, you can swallow the characters and make them follow you, and then you can do team up attacks.
Yeah. Last of Us Part 2. That game's not coming out next year.
No, it's not. Nope.
It's not coming out.
No.
Marvel Spider-Man. I'm really excited for that.
Awesome.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Mech Warrior 5. They're bringing back Mech Warrior series. That's interesting.
Huh. Interested to see where they go with that.
And of course, Mega Man 11. We haven't had a lot of chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
They announced the new Mega Man game. That is a 2.5 version of Mega Man.
Yep.
Which what you said my number 9. Now this is Capcom doing it. So, Metal Gear Survive. No, not excited for that at all. Metro Exodus, next Metro series game. Monster Hunter World coming out in January.
Yes.
Ni no Kuni 2, finally the sequel to Ni no Kuni.
Yes.
From PS3. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Of course, Ori and the Blind Forest. That was it says Xbox first big breakout indie hit, and it's exclusive. They're looking to build on that with another block of challenging Metroidvania-style platforming gameplay, more colorfully stunning art direction, and another wonderful musical score. So, Overkill's The Walking Dead. We have a new Walking Dead coming out. It's a different kind of developer, different style of game. It looks more like a third-person action game, maybe. I'm going to see if I can read a little bit about this for just a second. If you couldn't ask for a better developer-publisher pair for this game, apparently. Maybe this is going to be more like Left 4 Dead style. Maybe. They are known for bringing 4-player co-op. So these two developed the Payday series.
Huh.
So they're making a game set in The Walking Dead. So that'll be interesting to
That'd be
check out.
Paydays aren't terrible.
No, but it'd be interesting to see like how that game kind of comes about and what kind of form it takes.
Right.
Is it going to be more story set or is it going to be more co-op based? Because you can have both, but like typically a game is more. Will I be able to go through this game and explore this character's story, or am I going to have to play with other people?
Right.
Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
Yeah.
Fantastic C RPG Pillar of Eternity getting a well-deserved sequel after its massive crowdfunding success in 2015. Obsidian made the first game. So, Project Octopath Traveler.
Yes.
So yes, that game's gonna be really
very excited for that one.
I'm looking forward to that as well. Red Dead Redemption 2. We don't have a hard date on that yet.
I don't think it'll be next year.
Oh yeah, it's coming out. It's supposed to come out in the spring. I think the game's done, or it's going to be done.
We'll see.
So, this is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, and is the story of outlaw Arthur Morgan, a member of the Vanderlyn gang, or Dutch's gang, if you know, he's Dutch Vanderlyn, the group that Marston left in the previous game, which is afterward, So I really enjoyed the first game in the series, the second game technically, but I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. Sea of Thieves, Xbox exclusive, made by Rare. Shadow Colossus remake. Shenmue 3 is supposed to be coming out this year.
Right.
It was currently supposed. It is currently supposed to release in December of 2018. We'll see if they make it.
Right.
You know, Skull and Bones. This is Skull and Bones is the pirate game coming out from Ubisoft, which takes the pirate gameplay from the Assassin's Creed games and make a big PvP, PvE, you know, big multiplayer game out of that. State of Decay 2. Huh?
PvP with multiple players?
It says it's both PvE and PvP elements. So there's that. State of Decay 2, which is a sequel. It's for Xbox. Telltale's The Walking Dead, the final season. The fourth and final season of The Walking Dead is finally coming out. I have the first two, but I don't have the Final Frontier. Or whatever whatever it was they named it. So basically the writer of season 1 in the 400 Days DLC is returning to help flesh out and finish off the story.
Okay.
So pretty cool. I really enjoyed the first season of that. That was probably one of the most story-heavy games that I've played in a long time. There's a really cool twist to the ending of that. It's like super heavy. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I think this is like a reimagining or a remaster of No More Heroes from the old Wii days. Then there's the new Yoshi game. And that is it. So a lot of stuff on the horizon. Of course, it didn't mention some of your big normal hitters. The next Call of Duty, the next whatever, you know, Metroid Prime 4. Is that coming?
It's not been announced, but it was coming soon.
Coming soon. We'll see if it comes out next year. I personally probably not next year. I'm thinking 2019 for that because I think, you know, Nintendo's they had to resort to their own exclusives to carry themselves through the Wii U, so they space them out.
Yeah.
Just like they did this year. It was Zelda, Mario Kart, and then they waited a while. Splatoon, waited a while. Mario, waited a while. Xenoblade. They already have Kirby. They already have Yoshi. I bet those games got to be
pretty
ready
close
to go.
Like Kirby's really close, I assume.
So, you know, as far as like, you know, those games are probably done, and then you're looking at, you know,
I still say we're seeking a Smash this year. I believe that's going to be
if it is a Smash, I don't think it's a new Smash. I think it's a port of the one that was for Wii U and 3DS.
I guarantee it's going to be a Smash.
So, I'm really excited for some of these games. I already have Red Dead. It's already done. You know, I already have it paid off, so I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for it to show up in the mail one of these days.
Not too many games that I'm excited for next year.
I am excited for God of War, but in a different way. I'm excited to see it go in a different direction. It's not going to be one that I go pick up day one, probably. I'm going to wait to see how like the general consensus is.
I'm looking to play it because it's not the same last 4 games, identical combat.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's the same. Kind of like Assassin's Creed where you know what you're doing. You can literally pick the game up and just go because you know everything about it.
And see, the thing is that I've been hearing nothing but great things about Origins.
Right.
And so it's like, I kind of want to get it, but I'm like, oh, man.
Another Assassin's Creed.
Am I ready to go back to this, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, and I was having fun with the little bit that I played a Rogue because it's Black Flag. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, let's go. And then, of course, it's like, I get the Switch right after I start playing those games. So,
yeah.
Totally derailed me on that. I think that's going to do it for us this week,
All
guys.
right.
Thank you guys for going with us on this journey. 2017 was our year. That was our first full year.
Yes, it was.
On our own, man. We kicked off the year.
We're growing up.
Yeah. We kicked off the year going off on our own RSS feed. Of course, we are still part of the Journey into Comics network. You can help support the show going over to patreon.com/Journey into Comics. For $1, you get our show and all 10 shows up to a week early. When they're edited, they go up and they do all that kind of stuff. And for $3, you do get exclusive content. We are taking part in the road to the Infinity War. You know, if you like the Marvel movies, almost every show that's going to be on the network, we're going to be teaming up, and we are reviewing 2 movies.
Yes.
As a part of the 18-film trip all the way to Infinity War.
One of them I'm excited for. The other one, not at all.
Same.
Not at all.
Because I really like one of them, and the other one I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to talk about. And of course, you guys can check out all the other shows. Go to journeytocomics.com and hit up on Podbean and all your other favorite awesome podcast providers. Those same places you can search Game Addicts Podcast and find us there as well. We're on all of those: the iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music. And the Journey to Comics Network feed is actually on Spotify. We're not on Spotify yet. Because it is a little bit of a process. It's like an email verification.
Right.
You have to submit it. I just haven't done it yet.
We'll get
But
there.
yeah, absolutely. We're definitely going to get there. And, of course, you guys can check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Game Addicts Podcast, Twitter, Game Addicts Play, Instagram at Game Addicts Play. Here soon, I want to start doing some Let's Plays. And even if we're not able to stream it, I kind of want to capture it and have us sit down and have us just banter as we play games.
I think we'll be all right with that this year. I feel like this year is going to be a really good year.
I think so, too. I'm really looking forward to all the things we got coming for us up here in 2018. Of course, we'll be back at LaFiCon this year. Of course,
Yes.
The Game Addicts, we're actually going to be having a bigger role than we did last year on that front, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, if we go straight on, if we stay on track, I know exactly when we're going to hit episode 100. It's going to be in September.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I already have it loosely. I went through and I looked up to see where when it would fall, and it's going to be in September, right around my birthday.
Ooh.
So we're going to have to do something special for that. But
Yes.
we hope you guys stick around and subscribe and enjoy the great year of 2018 with us, and hear what we got to say about these awesome games that are coming out. And I need to slow down on buying these old games.
You're probably going to see a halt in my collection.
As far as older games, I'm very satisfied with a lot of my retro purchases. There's not a whole lot of stuff out there that I'm aching to get. A little a few here and there, sure, but that's more impulse buy than it is
Right.
oh, this is a big check mark.
See, for me, it's going to be, once I get the Retro Pie completed, it's going to be, do I want this just to have it?
Right.
Because I'll have pretty much all the library of anything I want up to the PS2 era.
Well, the thing for me is that it's all a lot of stuff I want now. It's too expensive.
Right.
It's stuff I just don't see very often. So if from that point of view, for looking at these games that are coming out next year, I'm going to be focusing probably more on that, which is awesome because those are further laid out, and I can hopefully make a dent in some of these Switch games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I need to make a dent in pretty much all of my games.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, dude, we totally forgot to talk about your Xbox pickup.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that I can't believe I got.
Yeah, dude, it's really.
I couldn't believe
for $50
that.
you got that cool Xbox 360 and all those games.
17 games.
That was in Japanese. We couldn't figure out how to change the language.
That was fun. That was fun. We were both sitting here okay.
See, that's a moment where being on live stream would be awesome because it'd be so funny.
Yeah.
But we're looking to be doing that here this year, so hopefully that will happen. Until then, I've been Brando.
And I've been Mike.
And we will see you next week right here on the Game Addicts Podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you later.